Alright, so before we start the video, I just want to let you guys know that I currently have a $100 Amazon gift card giveaway going on the channel right now. If you look at the top right of your screen, there should be a link popping up. Make sure you guys click that link and follow the very simple instructions down in the pinned comment of that video so you'll be eligible to enter the giveaway. Also, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I do one of these giveaways. And also, other cool videos that will be posted to this channel. Thank you guys, and let's get straight into the video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, week 3 of the NFL season is coming up, and for the Chicago Bears, they will be returning home after that embarrassing loss last Sunday to take on the Los Angeles Rams. In this video, as always, I'm going to give my 3 keys of the game on what I think the Bears should do to be able to win this game. So, without further ado, let's get into it. What's up, guys? KT here, back at it with another video. Today, we're doing the Bears. The Bears are returning back home for a showdown against the Los Angeles Rams, and I would say a must-win game, not only for the Chicago Bears season, but for the development of their young quarterback. This will not be an easy game, as the Rams just come off a big win against the San Francisco 49ers last week, but there are some things the Bears can do to be able to win this game. So, let's get straight into the video. My first key of the game, Caleb Williams has to have a statement game this week. Yes, he has to have. We've seen the progress between 3 weeks, 3 games. You know, it's been slow, and progress is progress. I've said that, but it's about time for him to start putting up some of those statement games. You know, the performance of Jaden Daniels on Monday night, and I know that has nothing to do with the Bears, but the performance of Jaden Daniels on Monday night was great. And he solidified himself. He made a statement in that game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Regardless of what reasons you want to give him for it, you know, he made a statement in that game. Now we need Caleb Williams to come out and have a statement against this Los Angeles Rams team. Again, it's not easy, but, you know, this is why he was the #1 overall pick. We've seen flashes, but we've had issues with turnovers. We've had issues with overthrows. We've had issues with taking bad sacks. You know, we need to try to get that statement game out of the way. And I feel like this Rams defense, while it is solid at times, and while it did play solid last week, this defense can still be had. We saw what the Arizona Cardinals did to this Los Angeles Rams defense. And I feel like we can emulate that success going into Sunday. Now, you know, if Caleb can come out and have a performance like Jaden Daniels had on Monday night, being super efficient with the ball, say 21 of 27 for 265 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers, that's a statement game. You know, him throwing for 363 yards, but throwing 52 passes and having 3 turnovers on the day, you know, while people might delude themselves and the media might delude themselves into saying that's a great game for a quarterback, then, you know, what Jaden Daniels had on Monday night, is legendary. That's not a very great game for a quarterback to have that many passes and then to have that many turnovers, and then you ultimately lose the game. You know, that's not a great game for any quarterback. It's just a solid game. So, you know, if he can cut out those turnovers, a few of those turnovers get cut out, you know, he can be efficient with the ball. He's decisive on where he's going with the ball. He starts hitting those downfield passes like we've seen Jaden Daniels do. You know, I think this will be his that will cement him as his statement game. But we need to see something from Caleb Williams this week, and he has to make a statement at home against the Los Angeles Rams. Point number 2, we have to get to Matthew Stafford early and often. The Bears defense has been the least of the Chicago Bears problems this season. And mind you, we only sacked Anthony Richardson 1 time last week, but we were able to get consistent enough pressure on him to start making him make mistakes. Mind you, Anthony Richardson is not as great of a thrower of the ball as a Matthew Stafford, but still, we played against Matthew Stafford a couple times in this division. We've seen what he can do, you know, and he's much older than he was back then when he was in Detroit. You know, and on top of that, that Rams team, regardless of what you think of last week, that Rams team is injured to hell and back. No Puka Nacua, no Cooper Kupp. Half the offensive line is just broken down and gone. And we saw with the Arizona Cardinals, once they got pressure on Matthew Stafford. He could not go anywhere. He's basically a statue back there. Same thing when they played Detroit. He was basically a statue back there. Aiden Hutchinson was teeing off, and I feel like the Bears should be able to recreate that same success. We have the secondary to lock up these receivers. I don't think that the Rams are a very good running team this year. I might be wrong. They still got Kyron Williams back there. They're still a very potent offensive team when you have a quarterback like Matthew Stafford back there. But once you start getting pressure and start forcing him out the pocket, it gets in much easier to contain him. So, I think a healthy dose of Montez Sweat is what the doctor ordered for this defense, as they've had a sack every single game this year, and that's more than what you can say for last year, especially early last year for the Bears. And this offensive line for the Rams is just so beat up, and this offense is just so beat up for the Rams. It's going to force Matthew Stafford to hold the ball a little bit longer. We should be able to get consistent pressure coming off the edges. We've shown ability to get consistent pressure coming up the pocket and collapsing it. I feel like we should be more than able to get 3 sacks against Matthew Stafford this upcoming Sunday. I'd like to see the Bears get more interceptions. They had 2 last week. I like to see them continue that trend, as they've just been ball hawking up there. And of course, getting those interceptions, making the Rams get off the field quicker, that gives more chances to your offense, and that gives shorter fields to your offense to drive down, and that will make it easier for our young rookie quarterback and our revamped offense to finally start getting something going. So, get pressure on Matthew Stafford. I would like to see the Bears end the day with 3 sacks and 2 turnovers. Point number 3, we have to establish an offensive identity this week. 3 games into the season, we know what our defense is. We're a defense that's going to get a lot of turnovers. We're struggling against the run a little bit, but we're able to get a consistent enough pass rush to make quarterbacks make mistakes or be hesitant to throw the ball and take sacks. We know what our defensive identity is. We still do not have an offensive identity going into the into the 4th game. And coming back home, we need to establish an offensive identity. We know we can't run the ball all that well. Throwing 52 times a game isn't going to help your young rookie quarterback at all. We need to figure out what works for us and what doesn't. Maybe using DeAndre Swift as a kind of between the tackles runner is not the smartest decision. Maybe putting Roschon Johnson back there in the limited amount of touches he did have last week, he was effective. Maybe putting him back there, will get the running game going. Maybe getting under center, going downhill, will get this offensive line going and get this run game going. Going play action will get this pass game going. Get Caleb in space. Get these receivers going across the middle of the field and going down the field. We need to improve on our vertical passing game. Later in that Colts game, we were doing that. In the 4th quarter, Caleb looked great once they started calling plays that were going downfield. We need to find plays that work in the red zone. We need to find our go-to plays. I can't name a single go-to play that the Bears have that's working right now. So we need to establish an offensive identity going into this week. Are we going to be the team that just throws 52 times a game with no real game plan, or are we going to try to mix it up? Are we going to change into a more run-heavy team? Are we going to go play action? Are we going to use the screen game? We just need some type of offensive identity going against this defense like the Los Angeles Rams. Even though they were great last week, we saw what the Arizona Cardinals did to the Los Angeles Rams. They went downfield. Kyler Murray was getting out the pocket and creating. Guys were in space downfield. They were running vertical routes. That's the type of offensive identity we might need to establish. But if not, we can find a way to get this run game going by getting under center and getting everybody going downhill. So, Shane Waldron, Matt Eberflus, and this entire coaching staff needs to figure out how to get the offense going, because the clock is ticking, man. We saw what Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders did on Monday Night Football. We saw Bro Nix have kind of his statement game, even though he didn't throw a touchdown pass, but he had kind of his statement game, which proved he could play a little bit and win games. We still haven't had that offensive explosion like we would have thought early into the season. And I think we need to establish that now going into the 4th game, because the clock is ticking, man. Everybody's getting frustrated and impatient. And, questions are going to start being asked soon. So, establish our offensive identity, and we should have a good chance to win this game. Now, I told myself I didn't have the Bears winning any more games going into the bye week, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to go 23-20 Chicago Bears win at home. I feel like this is the week, especially after Monday Night Football, that Caleb is going to get it going. And against this Rams defense, we can get stuff going down the field. We saw glimpses of it last week against the Indianapolis Colts, especially in that fourth quarter. If the Bears are able to establish that type of game plan with getting the ball out of Caleb Williams' hands quicker, making him feel decisive back there, putting him in situations to succeed, with Caleb protecting the ball a little bit better, I feel like we might be able to move the ball against this Rams defense. We might have Keenan Allen back. Who knows? That will add another offensive weapon. I felt like the pass protection held up a little bit better than it did in prior weeks. If we're able to get plays going downfield, we should be able to put up at least 23 points on this defense. As for the Bears defense, I feel like, Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams are beat up, but they're still a very well-coached team. Sean McVay knows how to draw up offense. And, we haven't really played a team outside of the Houston Texans with that great of an offensive play caller. I know Bobby Slowick is good, but he's not Sean McVay. I feel like the Rams will be able to put up points, but it will be sporadic. There will be a couple turnovers sprinkled up in there, a couple sacks. And I feel like down to the wire, I feel like the Bears, they're going to go down, get a game-winning drive, and hit a field goal or something like to that matter. So I'm going to have the Bears winning this game 23-20. I told myself I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe Caleb goes out there and puts the Bears' foot on the Rams' necks, and maybe they go out there and show the Bears fan base that, hey, this is what our offense can look like. I just need the space, opportunity, and time to do it. So I have the Bears winning 23-20. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Who do you guys have winning? Do you have the Rams or do you have the Bears? Let me know how and why in the comment section. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. We are still on the road to 1,000 subs, so make sure you hit that big red sub button. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I drop one of these Bears videos. As always, guys, follow me on social media, as there's a lot of good discussions going on social media. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys. Bear down. And I'm out. Peace.